Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why you won and now you know it. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So winning, this is what you are doing, or you have done, or you will do in the very near future. You see, winning is something the narcissist did not want you to do. The narcissist wants to always win, but they didn't. They tried to take you down for the count, and they failed miserably. You are putting yourself back together, or you have, and you're understanding that you are the priority, that you come first, second, and third. Now, many times on the videos I create, I repeat the taglines that I've come up with over the years, because not only do they work, but you need to hear them over and over and over again, because you need to unwind all the repetition of the toxicity that the narcissist placed inside of you. You see, when you were in that relationship, you were being gaslit day in and day out. You were experiencing verbal abuse. You were experiencing rage fits, blame shifting, triangulation, my least favorite thing these people do, and so many other toxic experiences. But what you weren't experiencing was support. You weren't experiencing love, kindness, appreciation, respect, mutuality. What you were experiencing is the toxic narcissistic relationship, and this relationship benefits one person, and that is or was the narcissist. The narcissist saw you early on. They figured out what made you tick. They researched you. They spied on you. They learned about you. They watched your mannerisms. They watched the way you talked, who you communicated with, what your hopes, dreams, aspirations are, how well you performed, your hobbies, how well you performed at work, your bank account. They learned everything about you, and once they realized your high value, your worth, your love, your empathy, everything that you possess, they wanted to capture it for a period of time. And they wanted to utilize that as fuel to catapult them through a period of their life until they drained you of all of your resources, or most of your resources. And then what they do is they go on to a new supply, or they did go on to a new supply. But what the narcissist thought is that they thought they finished you off. They sincerely never, ever believed that you would A, figure out what narcissism was, B, that you would put yourself back together, C, that you would dust yourself off by the bootstraps, rise up through the ashes like a phoenix, and enter the third version of you, the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind. And I've described that so many times in videos. If you're there, you are a very powerful person. If you're on your way there, you're extremely powerful, but you don't know how powerful you are quite yet, because you are winning, or you have won, and now you know it. You see, the narcissist really tried to give you that knockout punch. What they did is they were administering death by 1,000 paper cuts throughout the length of that relationship. Whether the relationship you were in was for a month, a week, a year, 30 years, etc., the narcissist did their best to take you out, but they failed. They couldn't do it. And then something broke. Either A, the narcissist discarded you, or B, you ended it yourself. But one of those two things happened. And when they happened, one of those, first of all, my heart goes out to you for being in a narcissistic relationship. But second of all, if you're out of it, you're now understanding that so many things are returning to you. Your clarity is returning to you. Your health, my hope, is returning. Your finances are returning. Your network is being rebuilt. Your hobbies are returning, or you're creating new ones. And your time and energy is being replenished. You see, when you were in that relationship, you were the walking apology. You were the sounding board. You were the person who was experiencing so much toxicity, i.e. the unpaid helper, the chauffeur, the pool boy, the errand boy, etc. You did everything you possibly could. But it would never be enough for the narcissist. It would never, ever be enough. That's why the narcissist, they always are looking for the next new shiny object. They're looking for the next opportunity. And at one point, you were the opportunity that the narcissist had their eyes on. And what did they do? Well, they got as close to you as possible. Perhaps you put a roof over their head, or you raised their children, or had children with them, or you went into business, or married them, etc. But when they did what they did, they had you isolated. And remember, you became a shell of yourself. You became an extension of the narcissist. You became a pawn and a puppet, and you were not yourself. You lost your identity to the narcissist, because the narcissist was always trying to push your buttons as far as they could. And yes, there are mosquitoes here. Having said that, the narcissist tried to keep you trapped and stuck in that devaluation stage as long as they possibly could. And they did a very good job of doing this, slowly bleeding you of your resources, slowly bleeding you of your time, slowly bleeding you of your health and your money and your network of friends and your stability and everything. But they didn't finish you off. You see, they couldn't finish you off because you are a beautiful, bright, shining light. You are more powerful than the sun. You have ascended or are ascending higher than the sun, the moon, and the stars, while the narcissist stays stuck in that low vibrational quagmire state where they had you existing for the length of the relationship. Now again, so many things that I mention on videos are repetitive because you need to understand, number one, where you are today is not where you will be in 3 months or in 6 months or in 9 months or in 12 months. And I'm not just referring to your physical proximity. I am referring to your mental clarity, your state of mind, your finances, the way you look at the world, etc. Because once you come through the fire, you rise to the ashes like a phoenix and you put yourself back together and you exit the cocoon of boundaries, you're a changed human being. You're changed forever for the betterment of yourself, because you're now entering the third version of yourself where you will see doors of abundance open up right in front of you. You will have things happen to you that you thought were unfathomable. You will be questioning yourself, is this really my life? Did that just really happen to me? And then you will answer to yourself, yes, this is my life. And after what I've been through, I went to hell and back, maybe even multiple times. I deserve all the abundance that's happening all around me because I put myself back together when the narcissist never thought I would. I healed from something I didn't even know I was in. I beat something that I didn't even know existed on this planet called Earth. You see, the narcissistic abusive cycle, it was always going around and around and around you from the minute you were born. You just didn't know this because you weren't taught this in school. And then lo and behold, something broke, something snapped, something gave. Maybe you married the narcissist. Maybe one of your parents or both turned out to be toxic. Maybe it's your sibling. But something triggered you figuring out what was narcissism. In other words, you were searching, trying to figure out where that needle in a haystack was. You were looking for something that you didn't even know what you were looking for. That's why so many times, myself included on this part, when we were in the relationship, so many times people take notes. They take mental notes, physical notes, or notes on their phone or things, and they're researching about their partner or their spouse or whoever they're trying to figure out, to learn about. Whenever you're researching about somebody you're in a relationship with, usually it's a red flag. Meaning, if things aren't stable and healthy and you have to research the poor behavior, you really need to pay attention that there are problems in that relationship and you are trying to patch up the relationship or learn about whatever that is, but that other person's behaviors most likely will not change, specifically if they're a toxic narcissist. But all these things I'm mentioning to you, the narcissist never thought that you would pick yourself up. They didn't think you would heal. They left you on the side of the road, crumbled up like a sheet of paper on the freeway, and they just went to the new supply. Again, when this happened, you took your time. You realized that your life had imploded, your network and your social circle had imploded due to the smear campaign, and you did not know what to do. You were isolated. You were looking for closure. You were looking for questions. You were looking for the answers to the questions you had, and most likely you thought those answers would come from the one person who would never provide them for you, i.e. the narcissist. And that's true. You see, that's why when these relationships end, usually they end with a thud, a crash, a bang. Usually the person is discarded and it comes out of left field. And the next thing they know, their whole life has turned upside down. And this is by design. The narcissist has done this many times before they met you. They did it with you, and they're doing it again, maybe even today, who knows? But the narcissistic abusive cycle will continue to go around and around. The one constant in it is the narcissist. That is why I suggest strongly in virtually every video I create to go no contact, to block these people, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If you can't do that now, utilize Grey Rock, become dull and boring, but in the background be creating and developing and getting ready to execute an exit plan. An exit plan is what I help many people do. It helps them to have a goal and a target on when and how to get out of the relationship. This is what I had to do. I had to put myself back together also. I had different circumstances than many people, but yet unique in so many different aspects. But why you're winning and now you know it, it's because when the dust has settled, the smoke has lifted, the clarity has arrived, and you are now out of the cocoon of boundaries, or maybe you're still in it. You slow your life down and you really understand what is important is you, not the narcissist. And what is important is your future, not the narcissist's future. What is important is where your mind is. You're no longer ruminating about the past and stuck in the past. You're no longer predicting the future and wondering the possibilities of the future. You're living in the present moment, the here and the now. And this is where the abundance happens. This is where the growth happens. This is when you take it your days one day at a time. Again, remember, nobody's guaranteed to be here tomorrow. I am not, you are not, nobody is. That is why we should not be thinking about the possibilities of the future. We need to stay focused on the present moment. And that is the path. But when you put yourself back together, post-relationship, you really slowed everything down. And then one day, as you were healing, you weren't thinking about the narcissist as much one morning or one afternoon. And you weren't ruminating that much, and you weren't shedding tears, and you had already experienced, or maybe you didn't experience, the angry stage. But you came to terms and understood that that relationship wasn't what you wanted it to be. It was what it was, which was a toxic, challenging, narcissistic relationship. And all of the baggage of the narcissist was dumped on you. You were blamed for things that you did or didn't do. You were financially abused, mentally abused, spiritually abused, financially abused, emotionally abused. Everything was going sideways for you in that relationship. And then, just like that, when it ended, you had radio silence. This is where people understand that there's a huge void that needs to be filled. The void post-narcissistic relationship, it needs to be filled for you, by you, and with you. And what will it do? It will benefit you, not the narcissist. When that void is filled, and I'm fast forwarding a little bit because I've created videos on the void, when that's filled, then you really exhale and you say, oh my gosh, I am so grateful to be out of that relationship. I made it out in one piece. I am rebuilding. Maybe I've relocated cities, towns, states, or countries. My bank account is being plumpened up again. I've now cut out so many people of my life because they were casualties of the narcissistic relationship. I've blocked the narcissist. I don't talk with any of their immediate family members, etc. I am now living in the present moment. When you do things like this or these, that's when you realize that you're winning, or you have won. Because you see, you've beaten something that you didn't even know you were up against. You were in a relationship with a person who was in competition with you. You were being peppered left, right, and center by abusive techniques that the narcissist administers. Again, triangulation, the silent treatment, blame shifting, etc. And perhaps you even experienced some hoovers. Remember, if you get hoovered, do not accept a hoover. It has never benefited anybody in the history of humankind. It won't benefit you. All the hoover is a temperature test to see if you've healed, to see if you still have the communication avenues open with the narcissist, and to see if you will potentially go back for another round of punishment. Don't accept a hoover. The narcissist has not changed. They've only deteriorated. They've only gotten worse. So that is why I suggest in every video to go no contact. But why you've won and now you know it? Because you really can look around your life, and you can go to a store, or you can go to an event, and you can observe other people, complete strangers if you will, or maybe people you know, and you can see a broken relationship in a moment. You can see who an empath is in a heartbeat. You can also identify toxicity in a moment's notice. You can understand that now, just because you did it or do attend events, it doesn't mean that you have to stay. And you also understand now that you have boundaries. Just because somebody drops you an email, it doesn't mean you have to respond. Same thing with a text or a phone call. You also can identify toxicity through the phone. Watch this one. Let's say you have a friend who wants your attention, and you've always given them your attention, but now you've healed, or you're well on the healing path. And this person calls you, and you didn't pick up because you were busy doing something, or you didn't feel like speaking with them. Then they call you again and again and again, and they call you 7 times in 15 minutes. Then you're saying, well, it's either an emergency, and maybe it is, but for this video, it's not. Then you call them back, you say, hey, what's going on? You called me 7 times, are you okay? And they're like, oh, no, everything's good. I was just wondering what kind of chicken you put in the chicken recipe, what kind of rice you use. And you're like, you had to call me 7 times for that? But see, this is what people are accustomed to. When you were in the relationship, you were being a puppet and a pawn, and you would do anything the narcissist wanted you to do. When you slow your life down, then you understand that a friend or an acquaintance who's calling you for a chicken recipe, they had to call you 7 times. Well, is that person the narcissist? I can't tell you. What I can tell you is if anybody's calling anybody more than once in this day and age, it better be an emergency, because we all have smartphones, or most of us do, and we can see when we have a missed call, or we can see who is calling us, unless it's a fake number, like the narcissist trying to hoover, and they're using a burner number or something. In that case, you don't accept it. But my point being, if it's somebody you know, and you see their name on the phone, if it's not an emergency, they shouldn't be doing that. You see, you're a different person. You've changed. You've healed, or you are healing, and you understand so much more about the world. Not only that not everybody thinks the way you think, and not everyone behaves the way you behave, but also that not everybody has gone through what you've gone through. Each and every one of us on the planet have our own challenges each and every day. And the narcissistic abusive cycle, I can assure you, was the challenge of a lifetime. It was the quest of a lifetime, meaning to find that needle in a haystack and to slow your life down and process things. That is why so frequently I mention to people during one-on-one sessions, you really need to be patient with yourself. You really need to be kind to yourself. You really need to unwind that relationship, because when you were in the relationship, you got accustomed to abuse. You got accustomed to the push-pull, the high-low, the roller coaster of emotions. You got accustomed to the front door opening and not knowing if it would be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. That is not good. In any healthy, stable relationship, when the front door opens and it is your partner or family member or friend, whoever it is, you should know what you're gonna get. You should know exactly who they are, what you're gonna get from them. You should have stability. You should have togetherness. You should have understanding. You should have people surrounding yourself with that will allow you to speak and finish your sentence, and that will ask you questions about what you just shared instead of punching holes in what you just said, or acting like they're too busy. They have to be on their smartphone, not even talking to you. You should be surrounding yourself with people that when you go out to lunch or dinner with them, they are not on their smartphone. They are looking at you in the eyes and asking you intelligent questions and learning about you or what you're working on or what you want to do. And then you ask them the same questions. You see, any relationship you're in, it should be reciprocal. It should be a 50-50 relationship built on trust, built on honesty, built on devotion, commitment, and built on growth. You're not going to get any of that in a narcissistic relationship. You're going to get lies. You're going to get future faking. You're going to get abuse. You're going to get toxicity. You're going to get victimness. You're going to get blame shifting. You will not get stability. And this is why the narcissistic abusive cycle will always go around. The reason why is, one, because the narcissist looks for people that don't know about narcissism. And at one point that was you. The next reason is because the narcissist looks for people who are wounded and vulnerable, and they're not where they should be mentally, meaning the narcissist preys upon people specifically if they just lost a loved one, or they just relocated, or they just joined an organization or a new work job, etc. This is what the narcissist does. And also the narcissist looks to take advantage of people that are recycled people that haven't figured out what narcissism is. But you are none of those people, because you are in the community and on the channel. And you're understanding that you've been to hell and back, but you're here. You're focusing on yourself, and you have won, and now you know it, because you're out of the loop. You're healing, or you have healed. You're processing so many things, and you're realizing that not everybody comes through this cycle in one piece, and not everybody heals the way you're healing. This is a journey for one. It is a path that has been created on your life. And this pivotal period of time, which was the length of that relationship, has changed you forever. And once you've reached the mountaintop and the pinnacle of indifference, you really will be transformed in such a different way that you can't fathom it until you arrive there. And before I close the video, there are so many of us standing up on the mountaintop waiting for you, reaching our hands down to pull you up and to get you where we are, because we once were where you are, or you've reached it and now you're helping other people pull themselves up. So if this video is the first video you're ever consuming on toxic narcissistic abuse, stick with it. Stay on the path, continue to get educated and empowered, awakened and aware. If this is your 10,000th video, thank you for sticking around in the community. Thank you for getting your cup full, and thank you for paying it forward and helping those that don't even know that they need help. This is the path. So before I close it, are you a winner? Yes, you're the winner in life. You're the winner of your life, and you are the star of your life. You need to leave the toxicity in the past, take the lifelong learning lessons from the past, and apply them to present day. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. I love doing the video. I want to share with you a few things. When you're in these relationships, you are so beaten down day in and day out, and you are listening to the puppeteer, i.e. the narcissist, and no matter what you did, it would never be enough, or it would never be right, or they wouldn't listen to you, because these people their mindset is not sound. Now, having said that, you kept on giving them chances. You kept on doing things for them. You kept on improving their lives to the detriment of yourself. That's why it's a narcissistic abusive relationship. That's why this is the relationship you need to heal from. The narcissist has nothing to heal from. They will just continue to play that little tiny Hollywood script in their tiny little pea brain, and it will go around and around and around, and they will continue to interchange people the way you change your socks, and they will continue to discard people or chew them up and spit them out any which way they want to. But the narcissist cannot introspect, they cannot grow, they cannot ascend, they cannot elevate, they can only destroy, and they can only manipulate, and they can only lie and take. You need to really wrap your head around that. You are totally different than the narcissist. You are a winner. You are the beautiful, bright, shining light that I speak of on the channel. You went to hell and back, but you made it out, and you're healing, or you have healed. So continue to get your cup full, continue to pay it forward, and continue to know that you beat something that you did not even know existed. And for everybody else on the planet who's living in the everyday fog, who hasn't been in a narcissistic relationship, the reason you can't connect with them the way you used to is because they can't fathom what you've been through, because they didn't experience it. So do not burn your friends or family members out. We speak the same language, you and I, and it's because we went to where we went. We were taken advantage of, we made it out, and we've healed. That is why I can finish your sentences in a heartbeat, and that is why I am extremely intuitive, and you are too. So don't let the narcissist take any more of your resources, specifically your time, your energy, your empathy, your money, everything about you. Go no contact. If not now, when? So everyone, from the beautiful Carolinas, I want to say this: no matter what country you're in, if you are in Germany to Canada, from Japan to Australia, and everywhere in between, please know that you are loved, you're appreciated, you're respected. I want to send you all a huge virtual hug, and I want to send you all love and abundance. Continue to believe in yourself the way I believe in you. Continue to pay it forward. Continue to get your cup full, and know that if you're going to bed right now as you're listening to this video, or you're waking up and having your morning coffee, or you're sneaking this in during your lunch break at work, or if you're supposed to be working and you're watching it now, God bless you. Continue to get the wisdom. Continue to pay it forward. Continue to get your cup full, and realize that you are such an amazing human being. And above all, you are the winner. You are always the winner, and you always will be. The narcissist just didn't want you to believe in yourself. But now the narcissist is gone. You have healed, or you are healing. And with that, I'm sending you this big virtual heart and hug. You are the winner. I love you all. God bless you. Bye.